I also went to go see the Land of the Lost remake. I remember because I was in it, or so I thought, and I got cut out when I was like 7 or 8. And I also remember getting very upset about that, and instead walking over and going to see Game Plan, which
that's why we're sitting back here.
Yeah, exactly. Some memories that are coming to mind right away.
I mean, you know, every aspect of it was really appealing to me. I mean, this is a dysfunctional family, which I come from, and so I just think it's also such a beautiful story about, you know, strength and resilience and kind of turning what it means to be normal on its head. And, you know, there's so much joy and laughter, I feel like, within this family. And so to me, it was a story that sort of had to be told.
I cried when I read the script. I was so moved by it. And after speaking with Matt, it was such an automatic yes. She was a girl I wanted to play. I thought the amount of joy and love in the movie, but also the depth and the seriousness of it was so appealing. It was just, there was so much to do and so much to play all the time.
So little time.
And so little time to do it all.
Every day, every moment.
Yeah, I felt like this was one of those scripts that you start reading and you're not quite sure, and I feel like the movie plays the same way, and you just keep wanting to read more and wanting to read more, and it snowballs. And I feel like you're reading, you're like, I don't care, I want to be in this film. If we can make it right, it's definitely worth the shot.
B's story is so individual to her, but I feel like the core of the film is resilience, and you kind of see her growing up and becoming her own person. And I feel like that's relatable, not just to people coming from a dysfunctional family, but I feel like anyone who's in high school or feels like maybe they've grown up a little bit too fast, or I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to this film.
Yeah, I mean, it really was a dream come true, honestly, and it started with Kiernan, and we spoke on the phone, we met, we talked about kind of the type of movie that we both wanted to make, and then it was really important that we had, you know, authenticity in our casting. And so the next role that was like, we did a worldwide search was, you know, Samantha. And that too was just one of those things where you just kind of know. You know, I sort of had a very strong feeling. I didn't really need to, I could have turned around and left after we hugged, and I was like, okay, you have the job.
I was like, can you give it to me now, please? And he was like, yeah, you're really going to fly here and not offer it to me in person?
The producer's like, don't offer her in the room. And I'm like, you've got the job.
For me, the representation of disability was so refreshing. It wasn't stereotypical. I always see, I'm on the autism spectrum, which isn't important. I mean, I guess it's important, but it's not like really a commentary on my acting. But all the autistic characters that I see, they're like the same one over and over, you know, guest star of the week. And this character, even though she's not autistic, there were parts of her that I could lean into, borrowing from my own experience. And even though I don't have those disabilities, I was able to bring my truth on screen in a way that I haven't had the opportunity to do before. Playing Sharon gave me the freedom to be happy with who I am. And I'm so thankful to Matt and the whole team for telling this story.
It became this thing where it was like, I just felt very, very lucky. And it was like, all, you know, one after another. We had
conflict, huge conflict. I almost didn't get to do
this. And then there was this whole thing with
It was a big deal, and it just wanted to think, well, I'm speaking for myself, but it felt like it was meant to be. And
it was meant to be. And he really became the soul of this, you know, film. And I feel like I was talking to him, and I was really worried because he was filming something else, and he's like, Matt, I've got you. It's going to be fine.
I had the lovely job of being in a coma for a couple days, just kind of watching them do their thing over me.
I remember asking Kiernan, because I was a little worried because she was laying there all day, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I am so good."
Don't worry, I'm having a nap, but
Who
not
doesn't
really.
want a nap on set?
But think about the voices.
It was so entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, it was like we were all pinned in that little tiny room. That wasn't a set. I mean, you know, these were all like practical locations. We were pinned in there, and there was a lot of screaming right over her.
Yeah.
And incredible acting.